Okay, good morning, students. We have completed our last lesson with bank account and bank reconciliation statement, and we did the theory, we did the revisions, and we did the questions as well. And you can access them through our YouTube channel as well. And today we are starting off a new lesson, lesson number 10, purchase journal, sales journal, and general journal. We will be learning about purchases journal and sales journal and general journal. So purchases journal and sales journals are sort of like specialized or specified journals, whereas the general journal is the a general journal. And then we have the instant cash transactions conducted via technological means, where we will be studying about how we can use technology to empower our transactions and business and accounting studies and business and accounting operations in businesses. Okay. So far we have completed almost 9 lessons, starting from background of business to bank account and bank reconciliation statements. So we did 6 accounting lessons, starting from introduction to accounting, accounting equation, dual impact of transactions, prime entry book, the cash book and petty cash book, and bank account and bank reconciliation statement. Okay. So today we will be studying about the purchases journal, sales journal, and general journal. And we are starting off with purchases journal. Okay. So what is purchases journal? Okay. Now, if you look at a business, businesses purchase goods with the objective of reselling. Any business will purchase goods to resell. They buy at a cost and then keep a margin and sell it. And once you are purchasing these goods and selling them, you can sell it based on two bases. One is cash basis, the next one is the credit basis. So when you look at the goods purchase journal or the purchasers journal, we record credit basis goods. Now, goods purchased on credit basis are recorded in separate record names as purchasers journal. Okay. Now, simply, if you purchase goods for the purpose of reselling on credit basis, we initially record it in purchasers journal. Okay. So, for example, let's say business buys stationeries for reselling. Okay, and they are brought on credit. What we do is we record it in purchases journal. And similarly, let's say a business buy automobiles, cars or vans or lorries or so, and they are buying it on credit for the purpose of reselling. Then we are recording it in purchases journal. So when purchasing goods on credit basis, the parties providing goods are known as suppliers or trade creditors. The amount payable to creditors are liabilities of businesses. Suppliers, when providing goods on credits, prepare and send a source document including information about supply. Okay. Now, as I said, now let's say now a business is there and business is selling goods and services to a third party, a customer. But when it comes to goods in particular, they have to buy goods from another party. For example, they have to buy goods from a supplier and then keep it, maybe add value it, and then sell it. For example, let's say there is a vegetable seller. What vegetable seller does is he buys goods from the farmer and then sell it to customers like us. අපි සතිය පොලට ගියොත් එම එයා මොකද කරන්නේ ෆාමගෙන් එහෙම නැත්නම් හෝල්සෙලර් කෙනෙක්ගෙන් බඩු ටික අරගෙන ඉවර වෙලා ඒ බඩු ටික අපිට විකුණනවා. හරිද? ඒ බඩු ටික ක්‍රෙඩිට් වලට නම් ගන්නෙ. ඒ කියන්නේ කෑෂ් දීලා නෙමෙයි. දැන් අපි බඩු purchase කරද්දී we have two main ways. One thing is we can buy on credit, one thing is we can buy on cash. අපිට ඒ වෙලාවෙම සල්ලි දීලා බඩු ගන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට ක්‍රෙඩිට් වලට එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට සල්ලි මම පස්සේ දෙන්නම් කියලා ඉවර වෙලා බඩු ටික ගන්න පුළුවන්. So if we buy on credit, if we do not settle in cash immediately, if we buy on credit and if we buy the goods for the purpose of reselling, okay, if we buy the goods for the purpose of reselling, we record it in purchase journal. Okay. Now on the other side, once we are recording these things on purchases journal, what we have is we have the creditors. or the people who we bought goods. And these creditors, as we already know, they become a liability of the business. Okay. And the next part is now, as we did on many other prime entry books, before recording this on a journal, what we have is we have a source document. Okay. And that source document is what we are going to learn now. Okay. This source document is called invoice. අපි රීසෙල් කරන්න බඩු ක්‍රෙඩිට් වලට පර්චේස් කරොත් එහෙම ඒකට තියෙන source document එක තමයි invoice එක. In the perspective of purchasing a business, it is a purchaser's invoice. Now we are learning about the purchaser's journal. So in the context of purchases, it's purchaser's invoice. Okay. The information in the purchaser's invoice is required to be recorded in the purchaser's journal at first. Thereafter, those transactions are posted onto ledgers later. So let's study about the purchaser's journal, purchase invoice, like the format and what is included in the purchase invoice. Okay. Then purchase invoice එක කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? අපි purchases journal එකේ record කරන්න කලින් දේවල් ඒකට ගන්න source document එක. ඒ කියන්නේ purchases journal එකේ මොන හරි record එකක් දාන්න කලින් ඒකට අපිට තියෙන්න ඕනේ source document එකක්. අන්නේ source document එක තමයි මේ purchases invoice එක කියලා කියන්නේ. Now this is an example of purchases invoice. So firstly there you have invoice number 120. Then අපි කලිනුත් කතා වුණා this is a unique number. This will not be repeated. Okay. And this is the person who supply you the good. Now the Deshan Bookshop Main Street Dehiwalal. Okay, they have sell these goods and they have sell these goods to whom? Rashmi Bookshop Maharagam, the manager Rashmi Bookshop Maharagam. With reference to your order number කියලා වෙලා order number එක දාලා date එක දාලා තියෙනවා. හරිද? එතකොට මේ Rashmi Bookshop එක purchase එකක් කරලා තියෙනවා. Drawing books 40ක්, CR books 200ක්, exercise books 120ක් on credit basis. Important thing is on credit basis. And the next thing is for the purpose of reselling. ඒ කියන්නේ තව කවුරු හරි ඉස්කෝලේ ළමයි ටිකකට විකුණන්න. හරිද? එතකොට ඒකට ඒ transaction එකට අදාළ වෙන source document එක තමයි මෙන්න මේ purchases invoice එක. So once you have this purchases invoice, what you do is you firstly take this purchases invoice, and this is very unique. This is invoice number 120, and you record them after that. After collecting that source document, you record them on purchaser's journal. Number one, you have the source document. Number two, you have the purchaser's journal where you record your transactions. Then subsequently, what you do is you are recording it into your ledger accounts. හරිද? එතකොට මේ දේ කරද්දී අපිට බඩු සප්ලයි කරන කෙනා ගත්තොත් එහෙම බඩු සප්ලයි කරන කෙනා ඇවිල්ලා he will be a creditor, where this transaction will be categorized as a purchase transaction. Okay. And now in purchases there are like sort of like different things, different terminologies and stuff that they use. When the condition 5/30 net 60, when something like this indicates, it says the purchase should be settled in 60 days. 60 days will they make a settle කරන්න ඕනේ. And if they settle in 30 days, they will receive a 5% discount. Then for example, let's go to this. Now, මේකේ මොකක්ද කියලා තියෙන්නේ? මේකේ මේ condition එකක් දාලා තිනවා 5/30 net 60 කියලා. හරිද? Okay, now we can even go back further and look at the discounts part also. Now here, if you look at this part, you see the 10% trade discount. Now the total bill value is 37,200. On top of that, you have a 10% trade discount. We learned about this. Then trade discount එක අඩු වෙලා 3720 එක අඩු වෙලා තමයි 33,480 වලට මේ total bill එක එන්නේ. එතකොට do we sort of like account for this trade discount? Tell me, in our books of account, do we account for trade discount? Students, tell me, do we account for that trade discount? Just give me an answer. Yes or no? Do we account for trade discounts?
Yes. Yes.
No, we are not accounting for trade discounts. Now, when we learning about the discounts part, we have two categories. One is the cash discounts and the next one is the trade discount. Trade discount එක කියන එක අපි කවදාවත් account වල record කරන්නේ නැහැ. For example, let's say now when I record this thing, okay, when this particular transaction, I record the purchase as 33,480. I am not recording this 3,720 amount in any place. That's my trade discount. Okay. But the important thing is you have a condition here 5 slash 30 net 60. Okay. That is important. That means now the standard settlement time is 60 days. You have to settle this in 60 days. This 33,480. Now let's say I am the seller and you are the person who is buying it. Now let's say I am Deshan Bookshop and you are Rashmi Bookshop. You are the manager of the Rashmi Bookshop. And what is important is I am saying, okay, I am selling this. I am Deshan Bookshop. I am selling this. And Rashmi Bookshop, you should pay me this 33,480 in 60 days. Okay. And if you settle this in 30 days, okay, you have 60 days to settle. If you settle this in 30 days, what I will do is I will give you a 5% discount on top of this. And that 5% discount is a cash discount, and that will be accounted separately, which we learned over the last lessons. Okay, discounts allowed and discounts received. We maintain a separate column in our cash book and bank book, and we maintain separate records. Okay, this 5% we are recording. We are recording it in our accounts. Okay. When the condition 5 slash 13 at 60 indicates that the purchaser should settle the credit within 60 days, and if she settles within 30 days, a 5% cash discount will be given. Okay. The trade discount is the reduction in listed price of goods at the time of purchase on credit. The trade discount is deducted in the invoice and not recorded in accounts. As I said, it's deducted in the invoice, but it's not recorded in accounts. Okay. After deducting the trade discount, the net purchase value of an invoice will be recorded in the purchaser's journal. ඒ කියන්නේ මම අර කලින් කිව්වා වගේ දැන් මේක ගත්තොත් මේ particular example එකේ මේ 10% trade discount එක we are not recording it, but this 33,480, that is what we are really recording. Okay. Okay, now this is the format of purchase journal. Okay, you have the date, then you have the invoice number. Now for this particular one, let's say it's dated 1st February 2024. Okay, invoice number 120. Okay, then here you put the invoice date, here you put the date, and supply is Deshan book, and total value is 33,480, and you record the ledger page. Okay. So that is how, that is the basics of the purchases journal. Okay, then let's write down the note. Put the main subheading as purchases journal, sales journal, and general journal. Put the main subheading as purchases journal, sales journal, and general journal. Put the subheading purchases journal, sales journal, and general journal. I will read out the note, then you can record, then you can write it later. Okay. Businesses purchases goods with the intent of reselling them. These goods can be bought either on cash basis or credit basis. Goods purchased on credit are documented in a separate record called Purchaser's Journal, also known as the Purchaser's Daybook. Initially, any trade goods purchased on credit are recorded in this journal. For example, if a business buys and sells stationery, the purchase of stationery on credit is entered in the purchase journal. Similarly, if the business deals in automobiles, the purchases of automobiles on credit is also recorded in the purchases journal. When goods are purchased on credit, The providers of these goods are referred to as suppliers or trade creditors. The amount owed to these creditors are considered liabilities for the business. Suppliers, when selling goods on credit, issue a source document called an invoice. From the buyer's perspective, this is known as the purchaser's invoice. The information from the purchaser's invoice must first be recorded in the purchaser's journal and then later posted to the ledger. Shall we write this? You can start writing this. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, this is a continuation of the last slide. When the condition 5/13 at 60 indicates that the purchaser should settle the credit within 60 days, and if he she settles within 30 days, a 5% discount will be given. The trade discount is the reduction in the listed price of a good at the time of the purchase on credit. This trade discount is deducted in the invoice and not recorded in the accounts. After deducting the trade discount, the net purchase value of the invoice will be recorded in the purchaser's journal. You can write this and draw this. You have about 3 minutes. We have about 3 minutes remaining. Quickly complete writing this. Okay, so as we studied, so I will be quickly sort of summing up the purchaser's journal, what it includes, what is happening with that, and what are the key components in it. Okay, now purchaser's journal is a prime entry book. Okay, and it's the place where you record your items you bought on credit for the reselling purpose. For example, let's say you are buying something for the purpose of reselling. Number one, for the purpose of reselling, and you are buying it on credit basis. Now, when you are buying goods, you have two bases. One thing is you can buy on cash. The next thing is you can buy on credit. So if you buy on credit for the purpose of reselling, you are recording it in it firstly in your purchaser's journal. Okay, and then for example, let's say you are buying stationaries. If a business buys and resells stationaries, the purchase of stationaries on the credit basis is recorded in purchaser's journal. And let's say if a business buying and resell automobiles, the purchase of automobiles on credit basis is recorded in the purchase journal. That is what we do on purchase journal. Okay. So in purchaser's journal, one thing we have the purchasers, and the next important thing we have is the creditors. People who supply us goods, those will be creditors, and these creditors are a liability to business. Okay, and then the next thing is the invoice. Now, when we are purchasing goods for resale on credit, and when we are recording it in purchases journal, firstly we receive the source document. And source document for this is the purchaser's invoice. Purchaser's invoice is the source document for purchaser's journal. And what we do is we take the invoice and we extract the data from it and we record it in purchaser's journal, and subsequently we are posting them into respective ledgers. So we look at an example of purchaser's journal. For example, this is issued from Deshan Bookshop. Now let's say you are Rashmi Bookshop who is buying from Deshan Bookshop, and this is your purchase journal. Okay, Deshan Bookshop is the issue of this purchaser's invoice, and you are the buyer. So this is your purchases journal, and this is the manager of Rashmi Bookshop. So if you look at it, you can see the invoice number, which we already talked, a unique number, and you have all the details of the goods you purchase. For example, here you have purchased 40 drawing books at 100 rupees per book, and 200 CR books 130 rupees each, 120 exercise books 60 rupees each. And then what has happened is you have to pay 37,200. Now in our earlier lesson also we learned about trade discounts and cash discounts. So you have received a 10% trade discount, okay, 3,720. And this trade discount you have to deduct it, and this is the net amount where you will be recording your purchases value. The අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම trade discount එක කියන එක we are not recording it in our account. So we already learned about this, okay. And the next important thing is you have a condition here. Condition 5/30 net 60. What does it mean? Making kyanne, like now let's say Deshan Bookshop is telling to Rashmi Bookshop, hi Rashmi Bookshop, you have 60 days to settle me this 33,480. Okay, you have 60 days to settle me this 33,480. And if you settle this in, you have 60 days to settle this 33,480, and if you settle this in 30 days, this 33,480, if you settle it in 30 days, okay, this 30 days I will give you a 5% cash discount. Okay, that is what is being told here. And that cash discount we are accounting separately as we are collecting money and collecting the payments. So those are the key things we recorded, we studied, okay. And this is sort of like format of the purchasers journal. And then we wrote the note, okay, these two slides. And now we are going to exercise, okay. So let's read it out. Purchasers journal, okay. The following information of Lihini's business, which buys stationaries for reselling. On March 1st, the net value of the invoice number 115 under which goods are bought from Namal is 22,000. On March 10th, the net value of the invoice number 65 under which goods are bought from Sahan is rupees 28,000. On March 20th, the net value of the invoice number 43 under which goods are bought from Purnima is 26,000. On March 25th, the net value of the invoice number 48 under which goods are bought from Purnima is 12,000. The purchase journal is prepared as follows. Can you quickly take about 5 minutes? Now it's 7:16. Can you take about 4 minutes and write this? Quickly write this. Quickly. Okay. Now there is a question. Okay. 1 second. Please give me a second. Okay. Now here 5/30 net 60. Okay. 60 means you have to settle this within 60 days. ඔයාගේ standard settlement time එක තමයි මේ 33,480 මට ගෙවන්න ඕනේ 60 days වලදී. 60 days වලින් මට ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. ඔයා මට 60 days වලින් 33,480 ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි ඔයා මට කලින් ගෙවුවොත්, ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා මට 30 days වලින් ගෙවුවොත් මට ඔයාට දෙන්න පුළුවන් 5% cash discount එකක්. හරිද? 5% cash discount එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට මේ 33,480 වලින් 5% discount එකක් අඩු කරලා ඉතුරු වෙන ගාන තමයි ඔයා 30 days වලින් මට settle කරනවා නම් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. I hope you understand it. Okay. Can you take 5 minutes and write this? Just take 5 minutes and write it. And if you complete, if you complete this, what you have to do is you have to draw a purchaser's journal. Okay. Here we wrote the purchaser's journal. Take a take a snap of this. Okay. As you finish this, as you finish this one, you have to draw a purchase journal. Keep the top row free, and draw a purchase journal. So quickly write this. If you write this, then draw the purchases journal. So I will explain you what to do and how to do it. Okay. Okay, since you have written the question. Okay, let's move on to question. Okay, firstly, what you have to do is you have to draw the purchase journal. Okay, now looking at this transaction, let's look at what is this transaction. Net value on March 1st, the net value of the invoice of 115 under which goods are bought for normal is 22,000. Okay, these are purchase journal questions. Okay, purchase journal. So firstly, you have to draw the purchaser's journal. Okay, then subsequently we will have to draw ledgers, which I will be explaining you. Okay, so first record these transactions in our purchase journal. Okay, so March 1st, the net value of the invoice number 115 under which goods are bought from normal is 22,000. Okay, firstly, you put the date 1st March 2024, invoice number 115, and supply is normal. Then 22,000. So there is no ledger page involved. Have you completed the transaction? Shall I move on to next? Then 10th March 2024. We simply have to record them. Okay. Sometimes in the examination, it may be complicated. For example, they might say, okay, this much of trade discount given. Okay. Now, for example, let's say they might give you uh, both goods from normal is 22,000 and there is a trade discount of 10%. And then you have to decide which value should be recorded. Is it 22,000 or is it 10% deducted by 22,000 or so? Likewise, then you will have to decide what is the amount you are going to write likewise. Okay. Now in this example, it's just plain vanilla, very simple stuff. And then on March 10th, we have invoice number 65. Uh, Goods are bought from Sahan. Sahan is the supplier and amount is 28,000. Okay. Then comes 20th March 2024. Invoice number is 43 and it's Purnima. So you have bought goods from Purnima and value is 26,000. Then comes 25th March 2024. Net value of the invoice 48. That's also from Purnima. Purnima again deparak aragina thiyena. It's 12,000. Okay. So this is how you record it. So on 31st March, what we have to do is we have to transfer this total to our purchases ledger. Okay. We'll move on to note and see how these are being continued. Okay. Now on 31st March 2024, what is debit to purchases account. So we can add them. It's 88,000. Okay. So there you have to transfer it to purchases account. Okay. Now let's see what is being discussed here. The total in the purchaser's journal. Now, firstly, what we do is, firstly, we had the source documents in a real life scenario. Then from that source documents, we extracted credit, say, credit purchases and goods boards for resale. Those transactions we filtered out, and then we recorded them in our purchaser's journal. Okay, first the source document, then the purchase journal, and nextly we have to post them into respective ledger accounts. Okay, so let's say what are being discussed here. The total in the purchase journal will be debited to purchase account. Okay, මේ journal එකේ තියෙන 88,000 එක අපි purchase account එකට debit කරනවා. Thereafter, each value will be credited separately to respective account of the creditor. එතකොට මේ නාමල් සහන් පූර්ණිමා, who are they? They are suppliers to the business and they have sold on credit. And who are they? Are they debtors, creditors? Who are they? Well, give me an answer, guys. Who are they?
Creditors.
Sorry?
Creditors.
Creditors, exactly. So why is that? They are suppliers. They are suppliers and they have sold goods on credit, so they are creditors. And now, in the eye of the normal, in terms of normal, okay, who is Lihini? Lihini is a debtor. නාමල්ගේ පැත්තෙන් බැලුවොත් එහෙම ලිහිණි කියන්නේ ඩෙටර් කෙනෙක්. හැබැයි අපි දැන් කතා කරන්නේ ලිහිණික බිස්නස් එක ගැන. So obviously this නාමල්, සහන්, පූර්ණිමා, three of them are our suppliers who have supplied on credit. So they are creditors. Okay. The total in the purchase journal will be debited to the purchase account. Creditors accounts are liability accounts. Therefore, an increase in liability is recorded in the credit side of the creditors account. Accordingly, the value recorded in purchase journal will be posted to the ledgers as follows. Okay, so now we firstly did the purchase journal, and now let's see how to do the how to like sort of like post these transaction into the respective ledgers. Okay, now what we do now, debited to purchasers account 88,000. So we make the purchase account. So it's 88,000 purchasers account. Okay. Here we name the description as creditors. And date is 31st March 2024. Okay. Then we have three creditors. For these three creditors, we have to prepare individual accounts. Firstly, we have normal. Date is 10th March 2024. We have normal, who is a creditor, and value is 22,000. Then we have Sahan. Now you don't have to draw this discounts column, okay? Please do not draw this discounts column. This is like, do not draw this discount column. You just have to record the other things. Then we did the normal. Then we have Sahan. Sahan is a creditor. Okay. Now we have to record this on the date of the transaction. Okay. Then Sahan is 10th March 2020. Sahan is also a creditor, 28,000. Then we have Purnima. Firstly, Purnima, there are two transactions. Sorry. Description should be purchases. 26,000. Then on 31st, 2024, again another purchase of 12,000. That's it. Then you have to balance off these accounts at the end of the month. You have to balance off these accounts. Okay. So if we look at here, we will recheck. Okay. This one Namal, Sahan, Purnima, Etika Hari, okay, 88,000. Okay, that's okay. Then we have the creditors 88,000. Namal, okay, that's okay. Then Sahan, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, that's it. So with that, we can conclude that exercise from the purchaser's journal. Okay, now we studied the purchaser's journal, and next we are moving on to sales journal. Okay, so let's look at what is sales journal. Okay, when a business sells trading goods on credit, so these transactions are firstly recorded in sales journal. And when selling trading goods on credit, an invoice is issued to debtors. This document is known as the sales invoice. And a business is usually retaining a copy of the sales invoice. Okay. And the sales invoice is used as the source document for recording transactions for the sales journal. Now, අපි දැන් ගත්තොත් එහෙම මේ sales journal එක කියන එක හරියට purchases journal එකේ අනික් පැත්ත වගේ. Now, when you have a sales, there is a purchase on the other side. When you're making a sale, there is a purchase on the other side. And when you're like on a business context, okay, now then අපි retailer කෙනෙක්ට වික්කොත් එහෙම ඔය දෙන්නේ මේ දැන් හිතන්නකෝ එක business එකක ඉඳන් අපි හිතමු සමාන්ගේ business එකේ ඉඳන් කමල්ගේ business එකට විකුණනවා කියලා. එතකොට ඒ business එකේ දෙපැත්ත ගත්තොත් එහෙම සමාන් ඇවිල්ලා salesman කෙනෙක්, කමල් ඇවිල්ලා purchase කෙනෙක්. එතකොට ඒ දෙකට එන ජර්නල්ස් දෙපැත්ත ගැන තමයි අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න. අපි දැන් purchase journal එක ඉගෙන ගත්ත එක පැත්තකින්. එතකොට අනික් පැත්තෙන් අපි දැන් මේ බලන්නේ sales journal එක කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා. එතකොට sales journal එකත් එන්නේ මොකටද? trading goods වලට. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ goods bought for like sort of resale. හරිද? trading goods වලට තමයි එන්නේ. And then the next thing is these things are credit sales. Okay. So if it is credit sales and if it is trading goods, you firstly record them in sales journal. Okay. And similar to we had this creditors on the purchasers journal, we have debtors on sales journal. අපි purchase journal එක ගැන කතා කරද්දී අපි කිව්වා එතන ඉන්න creditorsලා කියලා. දැන් මෙතන ඉන්නේ කවුද? මෙතන ඉන්නේ debtorsලා. හරිද? එතකොට අපි purchase journal එක ඉගෙන ගද්දී අපි කිව්වා එතන තියෙනවා කියලා purchase invoice එකක්. Now here we have the sales invoice. Okay. And usually in sales what happens is then අපි කිව්වොත් එහෙම දැන් මේ sales invoice එක කියලා ඇත්තටම දෙන්නේ අර අපි දැකපු purchase invoice එක. හරිද? අපි දැන් මෙතෙන්දී අර අපි දැක්කේ මේ purchase invoice එකක්. මේ දැන් මේ දේශාන්ගේ purchase invoice එක දැම්මේ. දැන් මේකෙම copy එකක් as the sales invoice දේශාන් ළඟ තියෙනවා. දේශාන්ගේ shop එකේ එයා ළඟ මේකේ copy එකක් තියෙනවා as his sales invoice. මේක රශ්මිට purchase invoice එකව ඒ වගේම දේශාන්ට මොකක්ද මේක? දේශාන්ට එයාගේ sales invoice එක. හරිද? So now then the next thing is the sales invoice is the source documents for sales journal, and we are recording things in sales journal using the sales invoice. So sales invoice is the source document for recording transactions in the sales journal. And the prices mentioned in the invoice may also reduce by a certain percentage when selling on credit basis. This reduction is the trade discount. අපි කලිනුත් trade discount එක ගැන ඉගෙන ගත්තා. The net value after deducting the trade account is recorded in the sales journal. So similarly, when we were studying about the purchase journal also, we recorded that value after deducting the trade discount. Okay. Transactions recorded in the sales journal are posted into ledger periodically. So similar to purchase journal, sales journal like record current transactions are periodically, usually monthly basis, we are posting them into ledgers. Okay, let's write the note. I will speak out the note. I will read out the note and then you can write it. When a business sells, the heading is sales journal. When a business is when business sells goods on credit, these transactions are initially recorded in the sales journal. Upon making a credit sale, an invoice is issued to the debtor, which is known as the sales invoice. The business keeps a copy of this invoice, serving as the source document for entering the transaction into sales journal. Sometimes the price listed on the invoice may be reduced by a certain percentage when selling on credit. This reduction is called the trade discount. The net amount after deducting the trade discount is what gets recorded in the sales journal. Transactions from the sales journal are periodically posted into ledger. So you can take 5 minutes and quickly write this. Then we will move on to a exercise. Okay, we are moving on to a sort of like exercise. Okay, let me read out the question first. Uh, the following invoices with net values are issued by Amar Singha's business, which buys and sells consumer goods. And we have a list of transactions. The sales journal for the month end 31st May 2024 can be prepared and posted to the ledgers as follows. Okay. So we have like sort of like several sales here. Okay. The good thing is they have given you the net value in the last question, like in when we were discussing about the probable questions, so we told sometimes they might give you the trade discounts and stuff and like a little bit of like complicate the context, but here they have given you the straightforward vanilla net values. Okay, so let's do this. So this is Amar Singha's business. Okay, now firstly what we have to do is we have to record these things in the සේල්ස් ජර්නල්. අපි පළවෙනියටම කරන්න ඕන දේ තමයි සේල්ස් ජර්නල් එක රෙකෝඩ් කරන එක. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි අපි මේ ටික respective ledger accounts වලට post කරන්නේ. Okay? Okay. Now date 2nd May 2024. Invoice number එක 35. Ratna. We have made a sale of 5,000. Okay. Then we have on 8th May 2024 36 Kumar 12,000. Then 10th May 2024 37 Ratna 8,000. Then 21st May 2024 38 Mahanam and 13,000. So we are simply recording them in the sales journal. So the important thing is you need to know the format of the sales journal. So you have the date, invoice number, buyer, total value in rupees, okay, and then the ledger page. Mahanam 13,000. Then on 23rd 05 then we have the Indica 17,000. 25th May. You all can also complete this with me. Okay. Then 40th. Then again solve to Mahanam. 6,000. Then 2805. 41 Indica. That is 7,000. So we can add them all and see how much of sales has been made. $68,000. Then we have to credit this to sales account. Okay. We are doing this on month end. It's simple as that. So this is how we prepare the sales journal. Sales journal එක හරිම simple. අර ටිකේ තියෙන transactions ටික අරගෙන අපිට මේකට post කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. හදිස්සියවත් අපිට ඕකට පොඩ්ඩක් complicate වෙනවා. මේකේ amounts දීලා ඊට පස්සේ මේක මෙන්න මේ වගේ complicate කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේක අනිත් පැත්තටම කියන්න පුළුවන් 20 packs of photocopy papers 200 each at 10% trade discount. එහෙම වුණොත් එහෙම ඔන්න ඔයගලන් එකට calculate කරලා තමයි මෙතනට දාන්න ඕනේ. හරිද? අපි උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මෙහෙම කියමු. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මේක question එකක් නෙවෙයි වෙන එකක්. හරිද? මේ කෑල්ල විතරක් ගමු. හරිද? මේක නම් purchase journal question එකක් නේ. අපි sales journal පැත්තෙන් බලමු. හරිද? මෙතන supply නැතුව buy කියලා තිබුණොත් එහෙම හරිද? සෙව්වන්දි PL කියන buyer-ට 65 invoice එකෙන් 20 packs photocopy papers 200 each වල වැටලා කමකින් අතව 10% trade discount එකකට වික්කා කියලා තියෙනවා. එහෙම වුණොත් එහෙනම් අපි මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? මෙතන දානවා date එක 6/5/2024 කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ invoice number එක 65 කියලා දානවා. buyer-ට PL විදිහට දානවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපි මේක calculate කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මේවයි නම් අපිට මේ plain vanilla දුන්නා. දැන් මේකේ හදන්න ඕනේ. අපි ළඟ තියෙනවා 20 packets of photocopy papers at 200 each. Okay. And we are giving a 10% discount. 10% discount නම් අපිට අඩු කරන්න කීයද? හරිද? අපි අය කරන්නේ 90%යිනේ. So then it's 3,600. So we have to manually calculate this. But in this context, what has changed is they have straight away given you the value. So that is how it could change in the examination. Okay. Okay. Shall I start posting them into respective ledger accounts? Do you want time to write this?
Give you another minute.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. දැන් මෙයාලා කවුද මේ රත්න කුමාර මහානාම ඉන්දික මෙයාලා කවුද? කලින් නම් අපිට හිටියේ purchase journal එකේ creditorsලා. දැන් මේකේ ඉන්න අපිට debtorsලා. debtorsලා කියන්නේ කෙලින්ම මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? We will be having a debit balance.
So how many ledger accounts should we need?
We need sales sales account. We need one for sales. Then we have Ratna as a debtor. Then we have Kumar. And then again Ratna repeated. Then Mahanama. Then Indika. Mahanama Indika. So we need altogether 5. In this five, one is the sales ledger account, the other is for debtors account.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So shall I start drawing the ledger accounts, or do you want me to stay about 1 to 2 minutes?
So 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay. Shall I start posting transactions to the ledgers?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let's post these. Now we have recorded these transactions in the sales journal. Okay. Now let's post them to the respective ledger accounts. Now this is a sales account. Sales account is an income account. So we have to credit it. Okay. So 68,000 it is. And we put the description as debtors. Date is 31st May 2024. Okay. Then we have Ratna. Now do not draw this discount columns. For these things, do not draw this discounts column. Then we have Ratna. Ratna is a debtor of the business. Okay, then it should ideally carry a debit balance. So 2nd May 2024 sales value was 5,000. Then we have the Kumara. So we'll prepare an account for Kumara. Ratna done, then Kumara. Kumar is also a buyer of the business, so ideally a debtor. So he should carry a debit balance. So on 8th May 2024, Kumar 12,000. Then there is Ratna again. Date is 10/05. 2024. Sales 8,000. Then we have Mahanama, a new debtor. Mahanama. Mahanama 13,000. Sales Date is 21st May 2024. Then we have Indica, a new one. Indica 17,000. Sales 23rd 05. That's we have that. Then again we have Mahanama on 25th May 2017. Sales 6,000. And then again we have Indica 7,000. Sales 28. මේවැදී අපි හොඳට හිතට ගන්න ඕන දේවල් තමයි what are the dates. දැන් මේ individual ledgers වලට post කරන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි ඒ transactions වුණ dates ටික. හරිද? ඊට පස්සේ අපි මේකට ගත්තොත් එහෙනම් sales account එකට sales ledger account එකට අපි post කරන්නේ month end එකේදී. So likewise we need to be aware of that as well. So since we have done it, let's check it out with the answers given. For 68,000, sales 5,000 and 8,000, Kumar 12,000, Mahanama 13,000 and 6,000, then Indica's account 7,000 and 17,000 and 7,000. Okay, that's it. That's it. So with that, we can conclude the sales journal exercise. So that's it.